Hello everyone, my name is Tetiana. I'm an early childhood educator. I'm gonna read to you a story, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Once, there was a pretty girl called Snow White. She lived in a palace with a queen. The queen was pretty too, but not as pretty as Snow White. The queen didn't like the Snow White. The queen had a magic mirror. Every day she asked it, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the prettiest of all?" One day the mirror said, "Snow White is the prettiest." The queen was very cross. "Take Snow White away," she cried. The hunter took Snow White into the woods. "Run away, Snow White," he said. "Why, what have I done?" asked Snow White. "You are too pretty," he said. "Run and hide." Snow White ran away into the woods. Soon Snow White was lost in the woods. It was beginning to get dark when she found a path. She followed the path in the moonlight, and she could see a little house. The house was dark and there was no one at home. Inside there were 7 little chairs and 7 little beds. Snow White felt so tired she lay down and fell asleep. When she woke up, she saw 7 dwarfs. "Who are you?" they asked. Snow White told them her story and began to cry. "But you can live with us," they said happily. "Don't be sad," said the 7 dwarfs. "We will look after you." Snow White was happy living with the dwarfs. Every day the dwarfs went to work. "Be careful, not talk to strangers," they warned her. "They may not be who they pretend to be." Snow White looked after the dwarfs' little house and the big garden. Meanwhile, the wicked queen asked her magic mirror who was the prettiest now. And again, the mirror said Snow White. The queen flew into a rage. She poisoned an apple. The wicked queen visited the little house in the woods. She pretended to be an old woman selling apples. Snow White took the poisoned apple. Snow White ate the apple and fell to the ground. When the dwarfs came home, they thought Snow White was dead. They put her in a glass case and carried it to the top of a hill. Then the dwarfs sat down and cried. Before long, a prince rode by. He stopped when he saw Snow White. "Who is she?" he asked. The dwarfs told him her story. The prince lifted the lid from the glass case. Snow White looked so pretty that the prince kissed her. Suddenly Snow White gasped and spat out the bad apple. The kiss woke Snow White. She sat up. The prince took Snow White back to his palace. "Will you marry me?" he asked. "I will be very happy to marry you," she said. And so the dwarfs all went to the wedding. It was a very happy day, but the wicked queen was not invited. They never saw the wicked queen again. I hope you like the story.